Do you trust him? Do you believe in him? It's always the question, isn't it? It's never a bunch of steps problem. It's a belief problem. Do you believe in your salvation? Do you believe he even exists? And do you believe he's for you? Do you trust him? If he says don't ever go and step out, which is unlikely, then listen. But normally, he can't steer a ship unless it's moving. You need to move. You need to do. So believing he will guide and just do something that he would approve of, anything. See where it leads you. Let your performance speak your belief and faithfulness. Words are so easy to say, but often so hard to perform. A walk of faith is more important than a talk of faith. There are millions of people to sing a song, but a handful to live the song. A belief must first be a way of life. Your walk first for your words to have power. They're meaningless if they're not walked. Many have good sounding words and speeches with no conviction behind them. They don't plan on walking in them. They may want you to. To say that you are totally honest while lacking true honesty are just words that fall to the ground. They're powerless. They're just words and lying words, and just words without living them are meaningless. Actually, worse than meaningless, because they often, words come as wolves in sheep's clothing. They confuse those who want to know the truth. Once you truly love someone with a piece of your heart, you can't take it back. You know what you were like, Lord. That is, the agape love is what I'm talking about. True love, agape love, can't be canceled like a check. If you can cancel past love, then you never had agape love with whoever it was. It was just a romance and affair. I think be careful who you truly love, because there is no returning it. There is no going back. Agape love is eternal and it never stops loving. I should correct myself. We should love all. Introduction is not true love. Infatuation is not true love, but it could become true love. It's a good start, I guess. But the ending's important. You see, agape love doesn't change its mind, its heart. It's a forever love. God will love us forever, even if we choose our bed in hell. Even when it turns to disaster. Love still lives on. Look at King David and Abraham, even after all his son did. King David and his son Absalom, and after what his son did, was trying to kill him and just did horrible things to his wives. But he still wanted him saved, said don't hurt him, don't kill him. He was willing to love his son even against all of Israel's hate. With agape love, there is no extent. It will not go to defend it. Love for someone. Many loves are circumstantial. If the circumstances change, love is thrown out the window. But Jesus spoke of an eternal love, not based on circumstances. To hell with circumstances, if I can use that word. But if the receiver does not receive that love, it doesn't change God's love. The most painful thing is to see someone we have chosen, that has chosen a hellish life, and for God to see men He's created in His image choose hell must be such a painful thing for Him. But here we are. Free choice. Regardless of how much King David loved Absalom, that could not save him. Absalom had to choose life. David could not make him, no matter how much he gave him. It is over choices that make the difference. Not our past choices. Forget them. Who do you choose today? That's what God says. He doesn't say, who did you choose yesterday? He gave you another day to make another choice. Choose life or death. God says, I don't care what you've done or where you've been. But who do you choose to follow this day? Salvation is not a past decision. It's a today decision. It's a now decision. What it says is, I'm willing to forgive all your past for a today belief. A true conversion. Not because you're scared that you say you love me when you really don't, but a heartfelt decision to turn to me today. That's all you need. Don't tell me about exceptions. I'm sure there's some, but for most, today is what counts, not your yesterdays, no matter how good yesterdays were. Who will you worship today? Who will you follow today? Speaking is one thing, performance is another. To do the right thing at the right time is the question. He says, I don't care what it looks like, but what were your motives? Your reasons are most important. What it looks like on the surface doesn't matter. It's the reason that you really have changed your heart or not. But first you must believe there's a God. That's the first step. And then the next step is that you have to believe He's for you. You must believe that He's for you. And then Jesus Christ can come in your life. And then all the gifts can come in your life. But if you don't believe there's a God, then there's no Jesus for you. He is the way maker. But if you do not first follow God in the way you should go, you are going on your own power. Why would you want to do anything just in your own power? If there's nothing new under the sun, then anything you do is just a repeat anyway. A past discovery, rediscovered. There is no originality to discoveries, but one thing, to discover a relationship with you. It's the one and only thing that can be original, your relationship with Him. Now, if He knows where every path leads, why would you want to blaze your own trail? Riding off into the sunset, not knowing the trail before you, even with a firm goal in mind and still having to grope in the darkness for the way. At least if God is guiding your steps and you're groping, at least you're groping in the right direction because he's going to guide your groping. Okay. If I go on my own venture blindly without God's help, it will be a perilous adventure at the least. But with God's help, you can end up even in a sunken ship, but he will save you because God will rescue you. But if you're sent out, you're going out on a voyage on your own. You're on your own now. You're on likely the Titanic today. Your one-pointedness, that you'll never give up on plans you made without him, will fail. Even if the world applauds you, in the end you have failed. Don't expect a rescue from God then. You chose your path. The ship will eventually sink and never sail again. You need him to direct your steps. And then start, move, go, do something. God's either a liar or he's God and he will guide your steps. When you love someone, you can't do enough for them. And that's what God is like. He loves us. But you must do something. You do first, and your words follow. But we say words and we don't do anything, it's a disaster. Some are only takers in this life. It's just their character. If they give, it's just an investment, a calculated giving, expecting a good return, either in some recognition or in financial gain. Maybe some of my associates will abandon me now. I've pointed out that they're takers. Unfortunately, you can't get something from nothing. It doesn't exist. Only God can create something out of nothing as he did the worlds and us. Only he makes the final decisions. Give him a good reason to make good decisions about you.